Program setting options. By the end of this video, you'll know how to use every advanced option inside program settings, from donor account preferences to page design, visuals, and redirects, so you can craft the perfect donor experience. Program settings are more than just amounts and goals. Once you've chosen the type that fits your program, in this case, number of sponsors, these advanced options will let you control how your donation looks, feels, and behaves for both you and your donors and your staff. Let's walk through them section by section. First, we're going to do a quick recap of the financial structure. So the financial structure, which is right here, is determined by the program type you chose. So if you chose number of sponsors, which is the most popular program type, then you would enter the number of sponsors needed for a sponsorship, as well as the amounts. If you chose contribution, then you would enter the amounts required. And we've also discussed the amount labels and amounts required to complete sponsorship within a separate video for contribution. We also talked about campaigns, which talks about what exactly is required for a campaign program type, the duration of the program, as well as the transaction amounts. This was already covered under financial structure, but for today's example, I will use number of sponsors because it's the most popular program type. So in this case, financial structure is covered. We also have our preset amounts, and this will display the financial targets on our donor page and in our reports. We have already covered everything, and the next part we're going to look at is the donor account option. The donor account options. Enable display donation history and donor account so supporters can log in and view their giving history. So in this case, you would just say display donation history in the donor account. The next part is allowing donors to message recipients. This is something you can enable or disable here in case you would like to. The next part is going to be sponsorship options. Here you can streamline your admin work. You can check combine same-day charges to merge multiple pledges into one payment. You can also turn on combine email receipts to send one consolidated receipts. This is very helpful in a situation where you have, for example, one donor who is doing multiple sponsorships. So, for example, they sponsor 30 children. You don't want to overwhelm them with too many receipts, so you can combine the charges, and you could also combine the receipts, but you could also combine the charges so that they all happen at the same time, and the donor is not having too many of the same duplicate charges showing up on their bill. That's a way to handle it. Something else that you could do is you can activate allow auto email set to be used by other programs so that your automated messages can stay consistent across different campaigns. Next, we're going to talk about order page options, which are also the donor page options. This section defines the donor's giving experience. You can display additional gifts, such as you could add $15 for books. You could allow login on order page for returning sponsors, which would really be good. You could also show in honor of field for contributions and giving tribute to different gifts. You can let donors cover your processing fee, which you could enter in here. You could enter a percentage or a specific value. So in this case, we'll do 2.9% of whatever gift they'll be given. On top of the gift they'll be given will be added towards processing fees. Another thing we have is enable alternative payment methods such as check, cash, wire transfer, which is also ACH. Some other thing you could do is hide the payment method dialog. However, in this case, I will leave it open to allow the donors be able to view the payment method dialog. You could also disable payment method schedules, and this would default you to monthly payment schedules. I will not disable it because I would want my donors to have flexibility on when their payments come out. You could also auto-select processing fees for donors. You could also auto-select processing fees for your donors, and this means that they don't have to opt out of paying the processing fee, which is very helpful because many times donors are more than happy to pay the processing fees, but sometimes they might forget to pick the option that allows them to pay for the processing fee. Some other things you could do amongst the front page options is that this is what the donor sees on their donor page. You can allow the users to sort on the front page. In my case, I will not allow them to sort. You can display recipients in descending order. You could hide recipients with no images. In this case, yes, I will hide recipients with no images. This is actually for admins. Um, you can also display fully sponsored recipients. I will not display fully sponsored recipients as I would want to only leave room for ones that are pending sponsorship. You can enable single recipient view or disable it. I will not enable this. You can display sponsorship amount, which I will do, or you could disable it and not show any sponsorship amount. You can display the recipient's bio on their sponsorship page. Another thing is you could remove branding. However, this is only for enterprise users where they could elect to remove the branding. Next, you could add an image placeholder. This could be a URL to another image that you would like donors to see in case a student has no image to their name yet. You could also have some sponsorship program information. In this case, you can say your gift provides school supplies, meals, and tuition support for students in need. You could also have front page text like welcome. We are grateful for your generosity, which your donors can see as soon as they look at the front page. You could add profile page text. You could add order page text. An order page is when a donor has chosen a particular student or recipient that they're going to sponsor. You could have text for them. You could have a donor account text. So this is what the donor would be seeing on their end. I would say that when everything looks right at this point, you can then click Save, and your program setting would be complete, detailed, and transparent, and ready to power your student sponsorship program. It doesn't just hold numbers, it holds the structure and the heart of your entire sponsorship program. Going forward, every campaign you build or sponsorship program can directly inherit from this function. Thank you.